Hello. At home, I have an old family Bible that's been passed down for several generations. It was actually given to my great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather, I can't remember which, by descendants of the real little Jack Horner. But that's another story. And in there, in the front page of this, which is details of my own family tree, dating back to the time this family Bible was actually given to my great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents. And you find there are lots of genealogies in the Bible, lots of lists of names. So-and-so, the son of so-and-so. And I think there are three reasons why those lists appear in the Bible. One is for reference. In a lot of more recent books, you find at the back there's a family tree which lists things out in a sort of table, and quite often it's useful to refer to that when you're reading through the book. If you were to, the person who wrote the book were to stop every time to explain who somebody was in relation to everyone else, it would actually get in the way of this telling of the story. But if you have a quick look at one of these family trees, you can see how they are related, and it sometimes helps to make a little bit more sense of the story that's being told. But another reason is that actually it points towards Jesus fulfilling the Old Testament. And there are lots of ways in which Jesus fulfills the things in the Old Testament, but one of them was the promises to Abraham and to David that Jesus would be a blessing to all nations through Abraham's descendants, and then a king in David's line would reign forever. So it's important to show how Jesus fulfilled both those promises. Some people say that we've pointed out that the list of Jesus' genealogy in Matthew's Gospel is different from that in Luke's. Now, there are different types of lists. There are those that tell of who somebody's father was and their father and so on. What we normally think of as a genealogy. And that's the one that we would find in Luke's Gospel. But actually, if you look at the Queen, Elizabeth II, she has one of those, but she also has a list of who's come before her as King or Queen of England and United Kingdom. And sometimes the names on the one list are different from the names in the other. Now if you look at Matthew's Gospel, especially following on from when David was king, it actually lists the kings who were king over Judah. So that list is more like the ones that would have been the kings and queens of England. But I think there is a third reason why there are genealogies in the Bible, and I've never seen this in any official theological book. But if you look at the names, none of them appear anywhere else in the Bible. Some of the names. And actually, as far as we know, they didn't do anything particularly extraordinary. They didn't do anything particularly unusual. They just lived ordinary lives. And yet, they are still a part of God's plan. And that's an encouragement for me, that actually even if I'm only living an ordinary life, and not doing anything particularly extraordinary, I can still be a part of God's plan. And that's true of all of us.